Hello, I'm Dr. Regina Hurley at CannaTech in Cape Town. I'd just like to share with you what's been happening here at the V&A Waterfront, the Lookout. There's a lot of lectures, international speakers from the United States, Canada, all over the world, and there's a vast knowledge of information, and there's also a lot of networking. There's a huge potential for the cannabis field here in South Africa, and as much as the foreigners are bringing information to us, I think that they are also learning a lot about South Africa and a lot about the cannabis industry here in South Africa. I am a licensed physician in America and South Africa, so have a lot of interest in both America, South Africa, and international cannabis. My specialty is anesthesiology and pain management. However, now I am also getting into the cannabis education for other doctors and the public. I think as a cannabis industry, it is a new industry, and we are learning a lot about the industry. Hopefully with meetings like this and also the Cannabis Expo that have been going on, that the public as well as other medical professionals, business professionals will learn where we are going to go with this new industry. The future for educating the public as well as medical professionals will be regulation. We need to look at manuals, lectures, maybe books that are being done so that we can educate the healthcare professionals, mostly so that they also feel comfortable with suggesting medicinal cannabis. Obviously, we will need the support of the government so that we can open up these avenues so that we can help our patients. In other countries, even though it is not legal per se, they have allowed doctors to prescribe or suggest medicinal cannabis, despite the fact that it's still in its infancy, so that certain research can be done. I really hope that the government of South Africa will open its mind and reduce the stigma around the medicinal cannabis so that physicians like myself and other like-minded physicians can go ahead and start openly prescribing or suggesting to patients where they can get medicinal cannabis. And the reason that we need to do this is that patients need this medication. There's an abundance of research showing that it is helpful and not harmful. We all know that we have numerous amounts of medications that cause numerous problems. I mean, we will have one a month of a person that will come in with a gastrointestinal bleed from grandpa. And grandpa is sold in the engine stations. So why can't we have cannabis available for our patients? And cannabis does nothing, no harmful effects. If you drink an entire bottle of CBD, it's not going to be a problem. Even if you drink THC, you might not be so comfortable. However, you won't die. So we really need the government to open up. They need to allow the doctors to move forward. As we get the openness to do this, we will also get information and research information from the patients. It's going to be very difficult to do the research that they do in other countries such as Israel and in the United States and Canada. However, we can do observational research, we can do case studies, we can do all of these to prove that the medicinal cannabis that's available here in South Africa is helpful for our patients. Medications in South Africa were reliant on other countries, and they are very expensive. And this can be grown here in South Africa. We can use South African strains, and we can allow it to be available for our patients. And this is really where we need to go. I think it's the huge future for the health of South Africa, and palliative care is a huge problem here in South Africa, HIV and chronic pain, and medicinal cannabis has been proven in other countries to be beneficial in these particular diseases or conditions. So let's hope that the 2020 will be a good year. We can work with the government and hopefully open up some of the medicinal cannabis regulations so that we can move forward on some of the research, but more importantly, so that we can allow it to be available for our patients and then let them have the benefit of it. The way that we can educate medical professionals, healthcare professionals, is like these type of weekends, but more importantly, we need to have dedicated meetings and speakers that will speak directly to the healthcare professionals. I actually do have several lectures that have been accredited by the South African Medical Association for continuing professional development for medical professionals. I have done these lectures in various places, and we would like to do more of these. I am a member of the Cannabis Development Council of South Africa, and I sit on the EXCO for KZN. Our hopes are in the next year coming up that we may possibly do a road show or maybe a weekend where we can invite medical professionals and just give them an introduction into this new industry of the cannabis, medicinal cannabis field. At the moment, most of the medicinal cannabis is being started by the patient. The patient will go to his GP or his oncologist and will ask about the medicinal cannabis. And most doctors do not feel comfortable recommending, prescribing, or even suggesting it. After a few of the talks, some of the doctors are becoming more open. They may not necessarily know what to recommend, but they may know where to guide the patient to get medicinal cannabis, mostly CBD at the moment. There may be some people that are trying to import some CBD and THC, but this is still in its infancy here in South Africa. As you may or may not know, CBD has been open for the next, I think, 18 months for a certain 20 milligrams a day, and you can get this as a health supplement. We are not making any medicinal claims at the moment. However, we do know from research that is being done from overseas, especially Israel, who has put on the CannaTech, Israel, Canada, the United States. There's an abundance of research that is showing the benefits of CBD and THC and the various other terpenes and other cannabidiols that are available in this wonderful plant that we have here in South Africa.